Respected friends, hope you had good, fruitful Navaratras with whatever little or maximum upasanas, prarthanas, anushtanas, dhyana, chintana done. Those who can do sadhana every day, they must do. Those who can't do, at least in those occasions, with commitment, something substantial one has to do. In short, human life is continuous struggle in all these fronts, three fronts. The first front of survival is always a struggle. The second front of wanting to become more happy with more amenities, comforts. It also won't come just like that, it is a struggle. Then the one who understands the spiritual significance and importance of life and wants to do and grow spiritually, there is a more struggle than any struggle. And it is a struggle for those who don't have the goal. It's a struggle for those who don't love the goal. It's a struggle for those who don't have inspiration. More so, it is a struggle because one is caught up in the opposite things to the spirituality. And it is a struggle for those who are basically lazy. For those who are basically lazy, everything is a struggle. The survival, the development, even the spirituality. So we have to make, instead of laziness, being active and dynamic as habit. So too, we have to make it a habit of becoming introverted internal than extrovertedness. We have to keep in front of us pictures of all great Mahatmas who were at one stage like us only, but they worked hard, reached those heights. Remembrance of those great people becomes a source of inspiration to us. But more important than all is to remind ourselves about Paramatma as a goal. This is accomplished only through the Nirantara Satsanga. There is no other way. Then we have to become little wise, good, to just understand from various stories of Purana Itihasa कि for what bad done one is given a suffering such situations around which become an obstruction for all the three fronts of life: survival, development, spirituality. And then what are the things done by which in the life everything is smooth? Therefore, they could do all the survival, development, spirituality at ease without much difficulty. And those things we have to avoid. They are called the other three things, the three things only. Amma. They are Swartha and then Adharma and the Papa. So when we in our vision develop Pararthata instead of Swartha and have faith in Dharma more and more, leaving it that dharma, when we avoid the dharma, and when we get the clear conviction regarding how punya gives better equipments, papa gives difficulties, and avoid that papa, keep doing punya, then the equipments that are given, conveniences that are given will be very good and suitable for doing those things which help us in our survival, development, as well as spiritual unfoldment. All these rahasyas are hidden in the Shastras, explained to us through the mouth of our rishis munis. Therefore, till the self is realized, moksha gained. Whether it takes 1 day, 1 year, 1 decade, 1 life, we should never give up listening to the Guru's rishis and from them the Shastras. We should never give up listening to the Shastras from the Mukharavinda of our Gurus and Acharyas. You know that Lehyam is there. Nowadays, everything has become commercial only. But even now, there are some people who take all the said ingredient in a pure and perfect manner. They prepare that Lehyam, which is very costly. The ordinary carelessly made is not that much. But very carefully with all the Ayurvedic rules, laws made, it goes into thousands rupees per kg. That lehyam, whatever the name it is like some prasham, chavana prasham and all. When that is consumed, the ingredients in that are such that they cater to all vitals of the body, whether it is immunity, whether it is digestion, circulation, throwing out, or for cleansing of the blood, for strengthening bones, bone marrow, muscles, nerves. So that lehyam, very interesting. In the same way, why I give that example is, same way are our Shastras. Daily studying Shastras, first of all, to the intellect it gives a goal, which is very essential. A man without, human being without the goal is just wasting his life. And those Shastras give us inspiration and love for that goal by giving the examples. Same Shastras tell us the preparations and qualifications. Same Shastras tell us the process of achieving those higher goals. Same Shastras tell us what are the chances, possibilities of going wrong and wasting time and energy inside and outside, and how to avoid them. So, in this way, strength and immunities and vitalities which a human being requires for living a decent life and spiritually oriented and developing life. All ingredients like that prasham. Prasha means prakarshena ashanam. Eating of it is a good eating. That is the meaning of prasha. That's the whole thing we are studying in Aitareya Upanishad also. Everyone wanted to eat the annam. So too, the study of Shastra is a prasham for all of us. Means studying itself is a prasham. Keeps us reminded of the human goal. gives that enthusiasm to live life. Most important thing with the help of Shastra is by showing through examples and logic the destruction that happens to us through Bhautikavada, Bahirmukata, and the Upadhi Tadatmya, then Kamadi Vikara, इससे होने वाला जो दुष्ट दुख है वो सबको दिखाते हुए हमको उस संसार से बचाता है शास्त्र. Yesterday is our Bhagwan Narayan and Shiva story. That Urkasura was a samsari. He got his own destruction. With all his powers of tapasya he has done, but he invoked such a bad boon with which he wanted to destroy the divinity. Hmm? But क्या हुआ? He himself got destroyed. So Bhautikavada, in its effort to try the divinity, destroy the divinity, itself gets destroyed. Like some religions, in the effort to destroy other religions, they themselves destroy. So to some parties in politics, business, दूसरों का नाश करने के प्रयत्न में स्वयं नाश हो जाते. All these are given to us through the Shastra. Therefore, if not, why our Hinduism has not stopped with one book, same routine of the funny things? Why hundreds and thousands of Shastras? Still they are being given to us by the rishis through their compositions. And many, many thousands of Shastras are in oblivion form, unmanifest form, because right now to this group of jivas, they are not required. Whatever is required now, they are becoming famous now. Now it is the days of Gita. That's it. Main days of Gita, little days of Bhagavatam, few aspects of Mahabharata. The days of Upanishad are not there in general for the world. Only you and I study it. So to the other Shastras which are hidden will be manifested when those type of jivas come. है ना? तो इतने क्यों दिया शास्त्र? निरंतर हमें ना शास्त्र के अध्ययन में रहते हुए ऑलवेज इन द ट्यून ऑफ द रियलिटी होना है. जस्ट लाइक इन एनी वर्ल्डली प्रोफेशन, है ना? द मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल, you should have always the articles, the journals, the latest inventions around him, and he'll have to browse through them for updating his knowledge, his skills, his performances, contributions, achievements. So to the see that economists problem is challenges. Every day, every hour, the economic situation of the world and the country goes on changing on. It is so disturbing, not the same thing. So you'll have to see the thing, how the total economy of the nation is maintained. तो कहाँ कास्ट बढ़ाना, कहाँ कम करना, कब कैसे टैक्सेस को बढ़ाना, कहाँ नहीं करना. It's a very mind-blowing job for them. But the team is always in that thinking. Is it not? So to every professional, we should also have professionalism in our spirituality of always in the browsing of, studying of Shastras, contemplation on them, keeping the inspiration sustained. Most important is that sporadic inspiration comes to anyone because of some punya, some Mahatma's arrival in life. But we don't need sufficient sporadic inspiration is not coffee. Sustained inspiration we have to have all the time. Else, either we become lazy, lethargic, dull-witted, or we become suicidal because no inspiration in life to live, or we take up to the bhautikavada, the worldliness. slowly getting habituated to it. We become Rakshasa for ourselves and the world. All that is avoided when, through the study of Shastra, consistently we keep up our inspirational level. So maybe that way, by the grace of the God, the Gurus, Shruti Mata, always are in the study and revealing and reveling of Paramatma through the Shastra. कब मिलेंगे परमात्मा वी डोंट नो कब साधना कितना हम कर पाएंगे लिटिल वी नो बट वन थिंग वी मस्ट नो इज लेट अस ऑलवेज इंडल्ज इन रेवल इन शास्त्र अध्ययनम अब पूरा डीप में सडनली तो समझ में नहीं आएगा वी आर नॉट सो शार्प सटल इन आवर इंटेलेक्ट टू grasp those examples, those logics, those words, those quotations, etc. बच्चे लोग हैं for a child of first class, second class. If you tell him the Pythagoras theorem or the theory of relativity, he is not matured, no? Same way, we are in the worldliness. Our equipments have not yet become antarmukha or sukshma or shuddha. Therefore, half of the Shastra Jnana doesn't come to us. The remaining half is so not so appealing to us. है ना लाइक किसी को झूठ नहीं बोलना ये अपील होना है तो ही शुड बी कंपैरेटिवली लिटिल बेटर प्योर हार्टेड फेलो जिसको झूठ बोलने में ही पूरा जिंदगी चल रहा है उसको बोलो मत बोलना तो उसको लगता है कि जिंदगी को ही हरण कर रहे हैं सो ही सेज आई कांट इवन टू think that life should be lived without speaking lies, a decent level should be there. In the same way, even though we study Shastras, if the Lord has to bless us with the understanding of Shastra, even though we study, we have to maintain a level of dignity and decency in our attitudes, in our approaches to the world. है ना इन सब के बिना शास्त्रों का ज्ञान रिवील नहीं होता दैट्स वाई फ्रॉम द डे वन थ्रू विवेक वैराग्य शमदमादि मेंटेनिंग द प्योरिटी ऑफ द हार्ट प्योरिटी ऑफ द अंतःकरण प्योरिटी ऑफ विचारण प्योरिटी ऑफ आवर वर्क आउटसाइड दीज आर द ones which make the Lord give opportunity and give the ability to through the study of Shastra understand the truth, etc. So may our everyday's life should inspire us in this direction. Quickly let us become qualified. Quickly let us be blessed by the Guru Parampara, Shruti Mata and the God for the spashta understanding of the truth. Then only its Mahima is understood, accepted. Then only there will be a single pointed inspiration to achieve it. Then only all our lives, every moment is spent for only Adhyatmika Prayatnam. It happen to all of us. With these words, let us have today too the study of our all six Shastras, Aitareya Upanishad, Yoga Darshanam, Mundaka Upanishad. Tomorrow it will be done, day after. Gita, values we are spending already एक हफ्ता हो गया at least 10 more days all those 32 values 9 plus 5 14 are done 18 more are there so 3 or 4 days then the great Bhagavatam in the evening how many things we are learning from that one story of Urukasura, Bhagavan Shiva and Bhagavan Narayana. अध्यात्म रामायण राम भगवान से उपदेश तत्व चिंतन है ना अगर वो हमको अच्छा लग रहा है तत्व चिंतन इट प्रूव्स our अंतःकरण is so free so relaxed not much of the entanglements in it like if you are coming to the classes regularly means you are wise enough lucky enough not to get entangled in personal tensions, family tensions, or the worldly obligations or tensions. इसलिए आराम से आप आ रहे हैं. Those are not able to come to classes means they are caught up, entangled in so many things. So too, if this Tattva Chintana is enjoyably done by us means our personality is so beautifully free from so many entanglements. If it is appearing to be insignificant or unwanted or tough or difficult, इसका अर्थ क्या है? बंदा बहुत चीजों में फंसा है. So that Ramayana giving us itminan se aram se tattva chintan. No, these are the three dehas. These are the five koshas. These are the three gunas. These are the three avasthas. All of them are anatma. So with the Shastra authority of Neti Neti, reject all these as the anatmas. Continue the rejection till it reach to a point where the rejection is impossible, and that is you. And that you's lakshanas are this. How? Systematically, beautifully, Sri Rama Bhagavan is guiding us. And then that comforting stotrams of Devi Ma, which we are doing every day, do ya teen ya koi bhi ho. That way, we are really by God's grace. It may not be in depth doing, but what we are doing is really good one, really great. Thing done is great. Greatly it is done or not, then in that lots of improvement is required. Let us achieve that also. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavato Sahanao Bhunaktu Saha Viryangarabhavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharashibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhisaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kruto Vande Bhagavanto Munah Shruti Smriti Purananamalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Bhavata Janata Suhita Bhavita Nija Bodha Vicharana Charumate Kalayeshwara Jiva Viveka Vidam Bhava Shankara Deshika Me Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadi Laksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Triguణarhitam Sadgurum Tannamami. Om Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Samastam Brahma Vidya Acharyebhyo Arushibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Devatabhyo Namahasmat Gurubhyo Namaha Aitareya Upanishadaha Acharyebhyo Namaha Vedavyasadi Maharshibhyo Adya Shankaracharyaadi Bhashakarebhyo Vartikarebhyo Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Irime Gurubihi Purvam Padavakya Pramanadaha Vyakhyata Sarva Vedantaha Tan Nityam Pranatosmyaham. Om Stesham Sarvesham Krupanugrahena Upanishadukta Brahmatmaikya Bodha Siddhyartham Asmin Kshane Eva Sanatana Dharmasya Vedika Samskrutehe Punarutthana Punarjagarana Vishwavyapti Dvara Vishwa Adhyatmika Pragati Dvara Vishwa Shanti Kalyana Ekata Praptyartham Asmin Dharma Samsthamana Karye Nishchitanam Asmakam Saha Samasta Bhakta Sadhaka Sevaka Dharma Samsthapakanam Purnayirarogya Aishwarya Kshema Stairya Dhairyadi Satsampada Sanukulyata Shaktinam Prapti Bhakyabhyantara Shatru Vigna Nirmulana Nivarana Dvara धर्म संस्थापनकार्ये दिग्विजयार्थं श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं योगदर्शनशास्त्रस्य व्यासभाष्य समेत अध्ययनं मुण्डकोपनिषदः अध्ययनं गीतामातुः अध्ययनं श्रीमद्भागवतमहापुराण शास्त्रस्य अध्यात्मरामायणशास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं देवी मातृश्रोत्राणां स्तोत्राणां पारायणम् अस्यां शुभदितौ वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। समस्तदेवताः गुरवः मां सर्वान् अस्मान् सदा सर्वदा रक्षन्तु। ॐ मनस्तापदमशान्त्यै यस्य पादनकच्छटा शरदिन्दुरिवा भाति तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्। ॐ अथ श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः श्री ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेय अरण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषत् प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य म आणीस्तः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्वतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Dear friends, enjoy the chanting of this tongue twisting beautiful mantra, the third khanda, Prathamodhyaya. Excuse me for today for ॐ स ईक्षते मेनु लोकाश्च लोकपालाश्चान्नमेभ्य सुजायते सोपोऽभ्यवत्ताभ्यो विदप्ताभ्यो मूर्तिरजायत या वै सा मूर्तिरजायतान्नं वै ततो तदेन सृष्टं परां त्यजिगांसत तद्वाचा अजिघृक्षत तन्नाशक्नोत् वाचा ग्रहीतुं स यद् एनत् वाचा अग्रहीष्यत् अभिव्याहृत्यः एव अन्नमत्रप्स्यतो तत्प्राणेनाजिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् प्राणेन ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनत् प्राणेनाग्रहीष्यदभिप्राण्यहैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तच्चक्षुषा जिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् चक्षुषा ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनच्चक्षुषा ग्रहीष्यत् दृष्ट्वा हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तच्छ्रोत्रेणाजिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् श्रोत्रेण ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनच्छ्रोत्रेणाग्रहीष्यत् श्रुत्वा हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तत्त्वचा जिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् त्वचा ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनत्वचा ग्रहीष्यत् स्पृष्ट्वा हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तन्मनसा जिगृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोन्मनसा ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनं मनसा ग्रहीष्यत् ध्यात्वा हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तच्चिष्णेनाजिघृक्षत्तन्नाशक्नोत् चिष्णेन ग्रहीतुं स यद्धैनच्चिष्णेन ग्रहीष्यत् विसृज्य हैवान्नमत्रप्स्यतो तदपानेनाजिगृक्षत् तदावयत्यसैषोन्नस्य तदपानेनाजिगृक्षत् तदावयत सा एषः अन्नस्य ग्रहः यद्वायुः अन्नायुर्वा एषः यद्वायुः स ईक्षत कथं नु इदं मद्रुते स्यादिति स ईक्षत कतरेण प्रपद्या इति स ईक्षत यदि वाचाभिव्याहृतं यदि प्राणेनाभिप्राणितं यदि चक्षुषा दृष्टं यदि श्रोत्रेण श्रुतं यदि त्वचा स्पृष्टं यदि मनसा ध्यातं यदि अपानेनाभ्यपानितं यदि शिष्णेन विसृष्टम् अथ कोऽहमिति स एतमेव सीमानं विधार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यता सा एषा विदुतिर्नाम द्वाः तदेतत् नान्दनं तस्य त्रय आवसथाः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसतो यमावसथ इति स जातः भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतो किमिह अन्यं वावदिशदिति सहितमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म तत मम पश्यतो इदमदर्शमिते तस्मादिदन्द्रो नामेदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तविदन्द्रं सन्तमिन्द्र इत्याक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, we have seen up to the second and third khanda of this Aitareya Upanishad, wherein the seen world is traced in its cause to the Paramatma. The expression of the world, the maintenance of the world, anything, everything that's happening in the world it is His glory only. With this, bring to our awareness presence of Paramatma all the time, so that Paramatma becomes predominantly important in our life than anything else. Then the question of inquiring about who is that Paramatma, what is his nature, can be effortlessly done. And we can, through that effort, inspirational, reach out to the self also. And in life, it's so simple in our life, whether with conscious effort, awareness, or unconsciously it happens. Some or the other body becomes important in our life, or some or the other object, or the place, or the अनुभूति. अब दिमाग उसी में रह जाता है ना, और दूसरी चीज हम सोच ही नहीं पाते. Now this is what Bhagavan Adi Shankara tells us in the seventh shloka Bhaja Govindam. Balastavat krida sakta, engrossed in the sports so much that child that he doesn't bother about studying or exercise or helping the parents at home. So to tarunastavat taruni sakta, that age of vulnerability of the youthhood, in that taruni asakti, including profession, including earning money, that children and all, तो इतना उसमें बंदा फंस जाता है ना, वही दुनिया बन जाती है. And he becomes comfortable in that. Then he refuses to think something other than that, apart from that, higher than that. That's what people don't come to satsanga of tattva chintana का अर्थ है कि they are refusing. So much they are habituated to their routine life. सुबह उठा, ऑफिस गया है, खाना बनाया, खाया, मजा आ रहा है, बीच में छुट्टियां आए तो घूमने गए. So much. So to vruddhastavat chinta sakta. Once one becomes old, chinta, the death chinta, the disease chinta, the parts of the body becoming weak chinta. People are not loving, valuing, respecting like earlier, that chinta. So what I'm giving is examples from Bhaja Govinda means knowingly or unknowingly. To whatever we give importance, our personality life gets oriented into that. And we become that person. Why all this is explained? That we have to develop that orientation of always doing chintana of the God. This Upanishad is helping us in that aspect. How? By attributing the entire creation to that Paramatma. It started with this only, ki before the Jagat came, the Jagat was Paramatma only. Atmava idam ekam eva agre asit. Say. Then see how wonderful the development of thought. Saikshata, he only visualized. Lokanno srujai, lokamko. Lokapalanno srujai, lokapalonko. Then the place to stay, Gamanayatu, Ashwamanayatu, Murushamanayatu. See, everywhere, Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan. Then when they were happy with the Manushya Sharira, this Bhagavan only told them, अब जगह मिल गई जाओ अंदर घुसो. Then when they have entered and they were suffering with the hunger, he himself imagined, visualized and wanted to create the food. That food has to be consumable and all. तो हर जगह पे भगवान का ही यहाँ प्रेजेंस है. Then he from the water, the food, he imagination के द्वारा अपना संकल्प के द्वारा ही brought out मूर्ति रचायता या वही मूर्ति रचायता सा अन्नम. That is why every food in the world has to be touched by the water. Food and life, both of them, come from the waters. That is why all astroscientists look for the water content in any of the planets, they say. And one planet is found by the those Khagola Shastragnas that it has nothing but only water. केवल जल युक्त एक planet ही है पूरा, they say. Then it has to have other conveniences for the life to start in that. That's anyway. So I'm just saying from then onwards the creation started from the water, the living beings. It's going on. So from the water predominant Panchamahabhuta, the Annam was manifested by the Lord. So up to this was one beautiful discussion topic. और इनमें धारणा विचारणा का बातें कम है, बट भावना एंड स्वीकरणा बातें ज्यादा है. And then the three most important things are: one, the food wanted to run away from them. Billi Chuha example, Bhagavan Adi Shankara gave. Second important significant thing which we exhaustively saw yesterday, today we will not repeat is, first the Vani wanted to consume it by its power of speech. It could not. That is why the explanation is what? If the Vani had consumed the food, now everybody by uttering the name of the food with the Vani, the consumption of the food should have happened. Is it not? Then Vani के बाद प्राण, उसके बाद चक्षुः, इसके बाद श्रोत्रम, then the mana, then what is the other one? Sixth one, tat apanena anane, last one, sishnena jigrukshatu. Tanna shaknot. And with, if at all it has succeeded in, any of the sense organ succeeds in perceiving that food through its faculty, that would have been the case even now. Shruti Mata telling us to focus on that point. And lot of things in that to understand. We'll not go deep into it. एक बात तो क्या है ना, सर्वाइवल के लिए जो फूड चाहिए वो केवल इमेजिनेशन करने से नहीं मिलता, वो इंद्रियों का चाहने से नहीं मिलता. उसमें क्या है, you have to put special efforts to get that food required, and you have to consume it also properly consumption. नहीं तो बंदे का सर्वाइवल कहाँ होगा. So that main point is brought to our attention here. Whether it is a bhukti yours, whether it's a mukti yours, you have to work, and you have to work in a proper manner. Then only those things come to us. So in those 6-7 mantras, every of the Indriya Adhisthana Devata, through that particular Indriya and its capacity, try to consume that Murti Rupa Bhojana. None of them could consume. Up to this we saw. Then who is the one who has consumed? That's the portion. it is there for us to study. Today we will focus on that. Straight away, 9 mantras Saramsha we have discussed. Now going into the Dashama mantra. Okay. Who therefore made the अन्ना भी received, है ना? किसने फिर अन्न का ग्रहण किया? If all the karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, antahkarana, they were hungry, they wanted the food, food is in front of them, they had their own special faculties, and yet food they could not consume. This is where carefully we have to observe. This is how the creation is. In creation, right from the planets up to our own cells in our individualized body, cells, millions of cells. Every one of them have their own placements, positions, powers, and roles to play. If any intermixture of the roles happen, it becomes very chaotic and very disturbing in the universe. That's why universe में सारे चीज systematically चलते हैं. If at all something going in haywire and topsy-turvy, it is only on the Bhugolam. And that is because of the stupid human beings not understanding the rhythm and harmony in the universe. He just acts foolishly according to his own selfishness. Therefore, he is destroying his earth and earth is allowing to destroy him. कितना बढ़िया है देखो ये विचार समझने के लिए. If these Vedantic things are understood, will anybody become excessive materialistic? Will anybody do those things by which entire individual personality, total society is disbalanced or displaced or imbalanced? करेगा नहीं. So everything is going on systematically. Let us also be in the system. You know, when that Dasara Navaratras, that Garbha dance is going on, and that clapping and putting the steps, everything will have to do in a synchronizing, organizing manner. So फिर even 10,000 लोग भी एक बड़ा सर्कल बना के कर रहे हैं, there is a joy, there is a rhythm. उनमें से एक दो बंदे भी अलग ताली बजाया तो it disturbs the whole 10,000. You know, in Indian festivals ना सारे festivals एक दूसरे से और यूनिवर्स से और भगवान से सिंक्रोनाइज होकर, है ना, प्रॉपर ट्यूनिंग से जीने का सिखाते. Every of our festivals, they have those deep lessons teaching us. Okay, that's how we go to people's house, we invite them, we go to the temple, we make these spiritual programs, mass level and communal level. They're all integrations, they're all harmonizations, they're all orchestrations. Then only all our gross and subtler energies become synergized. They don't cancel each other. That synergized energies protects the whole world from the inner and outer negativities, devils, enemies, weaknesses, powerlessnesses, etc. ये सब बहुत बढ़िया बात है, पर ये सब बताए तो अलग सब्जेक्ट हो जाए. So anyway, कर्मेंद्रिय, ज्ञानेंद्रिय, अंतःकरण are hungry. They want food. Food is very much in front. Each one of them are given their own faculties. With those faculties, they try to consume the food. But they could not, they failed. And the thing is, if they were successful, till now the whole world of beings would have consumed the food by only through that faculties. है ना, आंख के द्वारा देखते ही आंखों में खाना आना चाहिए, कान के द्वारा सुनते ही अन्न का खाना होना चाहिए, नाक से स्मेल किया, then eating food should be completed. So to मनसे चिंतन किया, मनसा ध्यातम. It should be amounting to the consumption of the food. If the indriyas could take the food, then who took this food is the most important question. Na? So let us discuss that in the 10th mantra. First chant the mantra twice. तद् अपानेन अधिघृक्षत तत् आवयत सा एषः अन्यस्य ग्रहः यत् वायुः अन्नायुः वा एषः यत् वायुः. Again, तद् अपानेन अजिघृक्षत तद् आवयतो सा एषः अन्नस्य ग्रहः यत् वायुः अन्नायुः वा एषः यत् वायुः. Literal meaning and meaning with the bhashyam and significance. These three ways we are studying all anuvakas of all Upanishads. So, literal meaning is tat. Tat means that Purusha who is now expressing through the पिंड जो फूड अभी उनके सामने है उसको हम अपानेन अजिघृक्षत with the apana vayu he wanted to consume it, then tad avayat he could consume it. This is the meaning of this sentence up to this. Second sentence, sa means that vayu, apana vayu, eshaha annasya grahaha. Therefore, it is the one who was successfully capable of doing the graha, the holding and consuming of the annaha. What is that? Yat vayuhu. Therefore, that vayu is called as anna ayuhu. Anna ayu means life. Life means meaning. So anna ayu means that vayu was the one which gave meaning to anna because it is consumed by the vayu. Otherwise, कोई कंज्यूम तो करता नहीं था, इसलिए वो लोग भूखे रहते थे और अन्न को कोई खाया नहीं है, देवर अन्न भी खराब हो जाता है ना. अन्न का आयु नहीं रहता. वायु है अन्न का आयु बिकॉज उसने अन्न का ग्रहण कर ली. Like in a very busy street of so many commercial complexes, all movement of people, आवाजाही, कोई खाने का रेस्टोरेंट या कोई ढाबा लगाओ, 24 घंटे इट इज बिजी. बहुत बार लोगों को वापस भेजना पड़ता है क्योंकि उस दिन का खाना हो गया. So in 2 hours, 3 hours, everything is over. But there are some remote places where movement of people are less. इसलिए कोई 2-4 आइटम भी बनाया उसका भिकाऊ नहीं होता, वो खाना खराब ही हो जाता है. In the remote places, कोई जाते ही नहीं उधर, खरीदते ही नहीं. Is it not? So, I give that example to say that if devatas have not consumed the food का आयु वेस्ट हो जाता था. आयु मीन्स उसका अर्थ, उसका मीनिंग, उसका पर्पस. बट वायु ने अन्न को आयु दिया बिकॉज वायु ने उसको कंज्यूम किया, नहीं तो वो वेस्ट हो जाता. So that's the meaning of anna ayurva esha yat vayuhu. Another meaning is what? This vayu becomes the giver of the ayu to the entire that being by consuming the food. And that is why the vayu is being praised everywhere. In that Prashtopanishad you have seen, in that Kenopanishad we have seen, in Katha Upanishad we have seen the importance of the prana or the vayu. Is it not prana vayu एक ही है? We have not completely discussed. अभी हम सिर्फ मंत्र में ही है, मंत्रार्थ में है, भाषा भी नहीं पढ़े. So one by one thing we are trying to see. Have we not seen in those Upanishads? In that third or fourth question में, Prashtopanishad में, by giving the name of example of the queen of all the bees. है कि नहीं? Like every devata thought that It is because of us this body is sustaining. Vayam etat banam avashtabhya vidharayamaha iti. Every indriya was thinking कि हमने जो है मेरे कारण ये शरीर है. दिन दिन वायु ने देखा, प्राण ने, ये लोग ऐसे कह रहे, मेरे को तो वैल्यू नहीं कर रहे. दिन नाराज हो गया था वायु और प्राण. व्हाट डिड ही डू? He was just going out of the body. When he was going out, all of them were going away. When he was coming in, they are all coming. Then they understood, yeah, this is not because of you or me, it is because of this prana that we all are surviving. Then they do that great stuti of that vayu. Tadyatha Makshika Madhukara Rajanam Utkramantam Sarve Eva Utkramante Tasminischa Pratishthamane Sarva Eva Pratishtante. You remember those mantras? Then he says, Tvamna Mata, Tvamna Prita, Prataha, Vishwasya Satpatihi. How many beautiful sentences there we see. All the Indriya Devatas praising the prana vayu, saying that आप हमारे माता हो, पिता हो, ये सब कुछ. मुख्य प्राण. This comes in Bhabradaranyak Chandogya में भी 2-4 जगह पे. In Katha Upanishad तो very clearly said, न प्राणेन न अपानेन मर्त्यो जीवति कश्चन इतरेण तु जीवन्ति यस्मिन्नेता उपाश्रितौ. And in our Aitareya, in the Shanti Mantra itself, we have seen, शांति मंत्र में गुरु शिष्य दोनों ने वो देवताओं को प्रणाम कर ली, लेकिन प्रत्यक्ष देवता के रूप में whose salutations they have extended to whom? है ना, नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षम ब्रह्मासि. यू आर द प्रत्यक्ष ब्रह्मा. त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षम ब्रह्मा वदिष्यामि, है ना, ऋतम वदिष्यामि सत्यम. तो वायु को प्रत्यक्ष ब्रह्म वहां कहा. And in general also, in any beings, the वायु अंदर बाहर जाना रुक जाता तो बंदा मरी गया. वायु अंदर बाहर जा रहा है, लेकिन भोजन को नहीं लिया अंदर, तब भी बंदा मरता है. भोजन को लिया अंदर, लेकिन उसका डाइजेशन सर्कुलेशन नहीं हुआ, तभी जाकर वो जीव जी नहीं सकता. ये सब हो रहा है, फूड टेक एंड डाइजेशन सर्कुलेशन. But the throwing out, if the food is not happening, are the unwanted things. पूरा unwanted accumulate होता जाता तो बंदा मर ही जाएगा ना. But from 80, 90, 100 years, whatever the food we have eaten, the waste material out of it, if it all stored, everybody is a dumping yard हो जाता वो. Continuously, the vayu only throwing away the unwanted things. Then only we are alive, na? So इतने रूप में वायु हमारे जीवन का आधार बन रहे. दैट्स वाई तो हमें एवं प्रत्यक्षम ब्रह्मास्मि. सो हियर वायु का प्राण का रक्षण, वायु का प्राण का स्वीकरण, वायु का प्राण का गौरव मर्यादा, रेस्पेक्ट, रेवरेंस, यहाँ हमको दिखा रहे हैं. And so many things to convey here. It is because the prana shakti properly balanced, entire physiology, indriyas work, antakarana, every of them are able to sustain and do their work. इसलिए न खुद का प्राण निकलने का कोई गलत काम मत करो, इसलिए किसी का प्राण मत निकालो. प्राण नहीं तो जीवन नहीं, प्राण नहीं तो आनंद नहीं, प्राण नहीं तो साधना नहीं, प्राण नहीं तो मोक्ष नहीं. So that prana has taken the food. So here specifically, yesterday वैसा again I will tell कि अपान ने इस भोजन को खाया कहते हैं. अपान तो विसर्जन करता है in our general understanding. Does it mean that our general understanding is wrong? Or if it is right, then Shruti Mata is wrong? She cannot be wrong then. Then how come instead of saying pranena, है ना, प्राण को तो वहां तो मना कर ही दिया. वहां प्राण मीन्स घ्राण एक्चुअली, द सेकंड वन. आफ्टर वाचा सेकंड वाज द प्राणेना जिगृक्षतु. देयर प्राण इज घ्राणम. उसको घ्राणेन्द्रिय, द नॉस्ट्रिल इंद्रिय के रूप में देखना चाहिए, प्राणापान के रूप में नहीं देखना है. So why did the Shruti Mata say prana when we know the food is consumed by prana shakti? Only this answer which we shared 2-3 minutes back, that अपान अगर काम नहीं कर रहा, all the negativities doesn't go away, then the prana cannot feel hungry only, cannot take the food only. Therefore, like we told you yesterday or day before, example of cinema actors ka and the people who work behind the stage ka. You know, if you remember that example, वो actors को हम praise करते हैं, but who taught them lyrics or dance things? सारा. So to गाने वाले को ताली बजा, पर किसने गाना लिखा, किसने म्यूजिक कंपोज किया, वो कभी आते ही नहीं लाइमलाइट में. इन द सेम वे प्राण का बढ़ावा और बड़प्पन हर जगह होता रहता है. But if this prana is not complemented with apana, prana can't do anything. We give the army example and all. You know, everywhere, hundreds of examples, like a doctor. Without the nurse or compounder or chemist and cleaning people, ये सब नहीं है, तो डॉक्टर थोड़ी वो पूरा पेशेंट को देखकर सब कर सकता है. नाम उसका आता है लेकिन कुछ करते नहीं. बाकी सब लोग टेस्ट और कोई बंदा कराता है, सिलाइन और कोई लगाता है, इंजेक्शन और कोई देते हैं, ब्लड टेस्ट और कोई करता है. डॉक्टर आकर ऐसा देख कर, बट देन ये डॉक्टर ने ट्रीट किया. The real grassroots workers are always, they never come on to the limelight. Or behind the scene रहते हैं. Here also the अपान वायु का contribution नहीं है, तो प्राणवायु क्या करेगा? Therefore श्रुति माता जानबूझकर अपान वायु ने अन्न का ग्रहण किया लिखा है. Because the consumed food through the apana doesn't go back. The prana cannot consume the next lot of food, isn't it? From that standpoint, apana is mentioned. Otherwise, as per all other shastras, the food consumption is by the pranavayu only. Remember, there is no doubt. But prana supported so much by the apana. Like the house lady, all utensils she is using and cooking and serving and all that, maja chal raha hai. But how come these utensils every day are going back to those shelves cleaned? Is not because of that cleaning lady. दोपहर में सुबह 2 बार, शाम को 2 बार आती है. जितना बर्तनों को इन्होंने यूज किया, she washes all of them, बेचारी keeps them. So too everybody wearing freshness daily. But who is washing them? There's somebody who's. We litter the whole place every day with so much of dust. All these municipal people, they are the ones who clean it. पहले कैसे होते थे हमारे रेलवे स्टेशन, कितना कचरा. Now स्वच्छ भारत से लेकर how neat and clean they are. They're all working. In the same way, we see only one aspect of consuming the food. अरे बाबा वो तो कर रहा है प्राणहीन, there is no doubt. But उधर समान वायु, sorry व्यान, समान वायु is working there for digestion. Vyana is working for circulation. Then this apana is working for the throwing out of the unwanted waste. It is सबसे important काम. Therefore, when the word used is apana, you must know it is prana, but very well duly supported by apana. That the food is consumed. So who has not consumed the food? Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, Antakarana. But they need the food for nourishment. Then who's taking the food? Who's eating the food? nourishes all of them is this pranapana assemblage. So वो सब देवता है, they all look to be living devatas. These are pranas are the jada, but without this jada prana the food will not go inside. And the living devatas who are living, who are illuminators and the faculties, उनका survival ही नहीं होता. Therefore, which is important, jada or chetana, they are complementary to each other in the at the time of presence of creation and maintenance and sadhana. As we go more and more into sadhana, chaitanya is important. Jada ko kam karte. In the final stages, we reach the truth which is beyond jada chaitana, which expresses the jada chaitana for the sake of the world, for the sake of vyavahara and creation. So, tad apanena ajigrukshatu, that pinda rupi purusha tried to consume the food through apana. Then tad avayatu. Avayat means he could consume. Therefore, saha esha annasya graha. Therefore, this apana vayu is the consumer of the food. Yad vayu annayu. Therefore, that vayu is the one which is the anna ayu. अन्न को आयु दे रहा है, अन्न खिला, अन्न को अंदर लेकर पूरे शरीर को, इंद्रियों को भी आयु दे रहा है. Therefore, yad vayu annayu is apana vayu. And in this particular Aitareya Aranyaka, in the first 3 chapters before these 4, 5, 6 chapters of Aitareya Upanishad dealt, what the subject dealt was Ukta Brahmanam, it is called. Ukta in means in Sanskrit prana only. So in that Ukta Brahmanam topic, the whole subject covered was, a maximum subject covered the prana upasana. We do the pranayama and all. We think we are the recognizers and inventors of all this. Some nonsense. All the things are already discussed by our rishis. Nothing is there which is not there in our Sanatana Dharma Shastras. सब है उसमें वेदों में. कोई भी नया नहीं हो सकता. लैंग्वेज नया हो सकता होगा, बट यार कोई भी नया नहीं. So it was said in that Ukta Brahmana, the entire set of prana का उपासना. In that विशेष रूप से the other 3 depend on these 2, है ना. The vyana udana samana depend on prana apana. Therefore prana apana का उपासना करो. That was taught in Ukta Brahmana before this Upanishad. The Gita में भी है ना. What is that? Apane juhvati pranam prane panam tata pare pranapana gatir rudhva pranayama paraninaha. And in the 5th chapter, pranapano samo krutva nasabhyantara charino. In the 15th chapter, aham vaishwanara bhutva praninam devashudha pranapana samayukta pasamyanam chaturvidam. In Bhaja Govindam, after giving all the 29 slokas of all the whippings through the hunter of resetting our sadhana button, life button properly, when it was the topic of talking about moksha sadhana, what is the first thing our Shankara Bhagavan himself says? Pranayamam pratyaharam. He starts with pranayamam. Pratyaharam nitya nitya viveka vicharam. Japya sameta samadhi vidhanam. Kurvavadanam mahadavadanam. Gurucharanambuja nirvara bhakta samsarada chirad bhava mukta sendriyamanasa niyavadevam prakshase nija hrudayastham devam So the whole Ukta Brahmanaka Saramsh, in which the upasana of the prana is told, the essence is first and foremost strike the balance of the pranamaya kosha. Then only this side, the annamaya, that side indriya mano vijnanamaya koshas can be managed. Like a first balance the finances, है ना? Finances को properly balance करोगे, then we can live the life depending on that finance according to that budget, richly or poorly or mediocre way. है ना? पूरे हर एक देश का इकोनॉमी सबसे पहले देखा जाता है. Here the economy, the energy is the prana. So that Ukta Brahmana talks about the balancing of the prana. It has two aspects. One aspect is consumption of the food and throwing away of the waste material. Consumption of food is prana, throwing away is the waste material is apana. इनको balance करो. One thing is this. Second is what? Most important is the energy which comes out after having the food taken by the prana, that also be balanced by using that energy in all the required functions of the world through various faculties, depending on what is our profession also. Like if you're an army person, so you have to lift big weapons and all, fight out. So there, the sharira, mana, indriya, shaktiya, both chahiye. Therefore, food and that type of food and those many times, that much of quantity they have to consume. That is called as balancing the connection between the prana as well as the indriyas ityadi. No, you and I are a pure, sincere, spiritual sadhakas. If we eat food more, then the energy will be more. And if you are not working that through the sense organs, etc., then this accumulated the energy becomes the laziness and fats, etc. And we can't, as spiritual seeker, exert at the senses level, mind level, like the army person engages alertly towards the enemy, looking at and ready to fight out or fire out. हम अरे साधकास तो हमको इंद्रियों को तो निग्रह ही करना है ना. Therefore, we cannot have qualitatively or quantitatively that food which can make our indriyas either lazy or extroverted. हमारा खाना का क्वांटिटी अलग होना चाहिए, क्वालिटी. सात्विक food only, a minimum food only, twice a day only. When we consume, then our pranas have that proper energy which is helpful for our inner journey because we are spiritual. That is how, as per the profession, the food has to be taken. Relation between the pranamaya kosha, its hunger and thirst, and to quench it, the food taken, and the indriya, mana, buddhi, their functional abilities, and for the individual, what are the duties outside. Depending on the works to be done, he'll have to manage his faculties. Depending on the requirement of managing faculties, that type of food he should take. That is called Ukta Brahmanam. Value it. Like no singers are there. No, Gana gaane wale, they can't take oily food. They can't take the cold things. क्योंकि खिचखिच हो जाती है ऑयली लेने से और गला अटक जाता है विद द कोल्ड फूड. थ्रू आउट लाइफ बेचारे वो लोग, they look at ice cream, they can't eat. They look at all sweets which contain a lot of ghee and oil, they can't. Because they have to maintain the throat. Is it not? So too those who are dancers. Body has to be flexible and energetic too. So then that type of food only they take. गलत खाली मोटा हो गया, अब डांस नहीं कर सकते, then no hours come to you. So what we are studying is, in this particular thing, the prana pana or the vayu or pranamaya kosha consumes food, and that digested food, digested by again these pranas only, become energy to all faculties. That is what is their food. Directly they can't take the food. And the food taken by them, given by the pranamaya, they do their own works. Like if the petrol gets reduced in the vehicle, एक एक चीज का जो फंक्शन कम होता रहता, फिर से भर दो पेट्रोल, झूम. सेम वे द सेल फोन में बैटरी खत्म होती है तो एक एक चीज काम करना बंद होता है. व्हेन द बैटरी स्टोरेज इज इंक्रीजिंग, अगेन दे वर्क. यानी कोई सेल से काम करने वाला सेल कमजोर होता रहता है. लाइक आवर ये माइक्रोफोन, आई डिस्कवर्ड दैट इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम इन द सेल. तो मैंने कल नया सेल डाल दी, देखो कल से कोई टेंशन ही नहीं. 3-5 दिन के लिए फिर से नया डालना होगा. As the cell goes away, then it gives a freaking sound, disturbing sound. So therefore, a lesson for today is don't neglect pranamaya kosha. Let there be balance between prana apana in both terms of the food consumed, the waste thrown, as well as the food consumed and the work done through faculties. Be mindful about it. Can't be neglected. है कि नहीं? भगवान ने शुरू से ऐसा किया. हे इंद्रिय लोग, तुमको खाना चाहिए, या खाना सामने है, या खा के दिखाओ. यू कांट. It's a there's a proper channel. The proper channel is the pranapana sanghata only will consume the food that is kept outside. Then you will get the energy of it. You get your respective foods from it. That's why in India a wonderful, very well balanced diet होता है. The ingredients and the quantity in the food सर्व्स एवरी पार्ट ऑफ द बॉडी. क्योंकि आंख को देखने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए, कान को सुनने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए, मुंह को बोलने के लिए जो एनर्जी चाहिए, देर आर डिफरेंट एंड दे आर फाउंड फ्रॉम दोज पर्टिकुलर ईटेबल्स. आप सबको ये ज्यादा पता है, मैं तो ऐसे बक रहा हूँ इवन दो नो नथिंग. And that's why when any physiological functions get disturbed, the doctors recommend that type of food. अच्छा कैल्शियम कम है तो किसी को चूना लगाना बंद करो, आप खुद खा लो. चूना इज नथिंग बट कैल्शियम. है कि नहीं? अच्छा ये वाला कम है तो अब ना मैं पालक को खा लो. अच्छा ये घुटने में दर्द हो रहा है, इमली कम कर दो. वो क्या है ना, बोन मैरो को उसको खा लेता है तो इसलिए उसमें ऑयलिंग नहीं होती, उसके कारण वो क्रैम्प्स आ जाते हैं या ऑल पेन्स. वट एवर फूड शरीर and the indriyas and our life so closely knit. एंड ये वाले बात बताने के लिए भगवान एक पूरा वेद ही दे दिया हमको, जिसका नाम है आयुर्वेद. है ना? व्हाट इज आयुर्वेद? The complete relation and balance between the outer food, our consumption of the food, our maintenance of body, mind, intellect, and our working outside again according to our profession and reaching that goal. इन सबको दिमाग में लगाकर ये आयुर्वेद उत्पन्न हुआ. Very, very big, vast subject. There are 32 volumes of books of Ayurveda. Big, big volumes. बहुत बड़े बड़े इतना है फिर. Because they don't only talk about the body, they talk about the body, prana, kapha, vata, pitta, their relation, individual, total, spiritual, सारे अकाउंट में लेकर वो आयुर्वेद बात करती है. It's a big ocean like medicine. Medicine is a big ocean. It's oceanic. So to the earlier medicine called Ayurveda is a big ocean. We have seen this mantra, the Bhashya of it. Tat pranena, tat sat tat chakshusha, tat shrotrena, tat tvacha, tat manasa, tat shishnena, tena tena karna vyaparena, annam grahitum ashaknuvana. So that Pinda Rupa Vyaktitva tried to consume the food with their own respective faculties with their functional abilities. फिर क्या हुआ? ग्रहीतुम अशक्नुवन. They could not, he could not consume with those respective faculties the food. Then पश्चात, thereafter क्या हुआ? पश्चात अपानेन वायुना. with the apana vayu. What is apana? Mukha chidrena. Who's connected with the mukha? From the mukha, when it is taken, it is called as prana vayu. But its fulfillment of prana vayu's fulfillment is only in the apana. Therefore, मुख से लेकर एवैक्यूएशन ऑर्गन तक जो कनेक्शन है वो पूरा वायुमंडल है. तो शुरुआत वाले को प्राण कहते हैं, अंत वाले को अपान कहते हैं. If they are not properly integrated, especially the apana vayu is more important that is this time. इसलिए अपान का नाम यहाँ ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दिया. बट इट मीन्स द होल पंच प्राणास, मेनली द प्राण अपान importance. Then पश्चात अपानेन वायुना मुखछिद्रेण तत् अन्नम अजिघृक्षत. So the mukhachidra is the place where the prana vayu starts working, and in its working, when it goes to its last position, it becomes the apana vayu. Like the women at home, she starts becoming the pujari at home. सुबह सुबह नहा के पूजा करती है. Thereafter, she becomes the khansama cook for all the useless people at home. And when all those buffaloes eat and go away, बेचारी, she herself becomes the BMW, the बर्तन मांजने वाली. वो एक ही लेडी है. She herself is pujari, she herself is a cuckoo, she herself is the one who was serving food, she herself washes the utensils. So to the prana alone, getting divided into apana, vyana, udana, samana, finally it only takes the position of apana and throws away from the lower path the unwanted waste material, which is more important. Like in today's world, the biggest crisis is what? How to manage the waste. You understand? Millions of rupees are put in finding the ways and means for managing the waste. विदाउट नोइंग दिस लास्ट 20 years में इतना सारा इलेक्ट्रिक गैजेट उत्पन्न हो गए. कहते हैं कि जितने अनवांटेड इलेक्ट्रिक गैजेट्स अमेरिका में, वो सारे जमीन खोद कर नीचे रखते हैं ना, वो इंडिया में आ जाते हैं. मतलब इस तरफ lakhs and crores of tons of lakhs of tons of electronic wastage only is there. Lakhs of tons इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्टेज, यूज एंड थ्रो है. आजकल सब खराब हो गया तो कोई रिपेयर नहीं कर रहे पहले की तरह. यूज एवरीथिंग इज यूज एंड थ्रो. द कीबोर्ड्स यूज एंड थ्रो, द माउस यूज एंड थ्रो, यूज एंड थ्रो, द लैपटॉप यूज एंड थ्रो. अब करोड़ों करोड़ों बन रहे हैं, लोगों को खरीदने का कैपेसिटी हो गया. लाइक दैट एवरीथिंग, मिलियंस ऑफ थिंग्स, ये सब वेस्ट है. It has become a huge burden in the whole universe, all the whole earth and the globe, to manage the waste. देखो, the food waste can be easily managed because organic it is. But the inorganic वाले, to the plastic का हो या all these things का हो, how tough it is to waste manage. आप अपने घर में देखो, 50% waste ही होता है. So here the waste management is given more importance. Depending on that waste management only, that the consumption thing should be taken into account and due importance is given. So apana is taken, then therefore it is called as annayu ityadi. These 2-3 beautiful important thoughts, we will discuss them tomorrow, followed by then the Bhagwan thinks कि ये सब तो ठीक ठाक है, पर मेरे बिना ये सारा संघात नहीं चलेगा. चलो, लेट मी एंटर. सो सीमान विदार्य मूर्धनि भागम द ब्रह्मरंध्र, देखो टच करते दर्द होता है, उसमें से भगवान अंदर प्रवेश करते हैं. ये इस चैप्टर का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक. देन भगवान आदि शंकर अराउंड 20 pages of Bhashya he writes after this, 20 or 15. We will revel in the study of that. All in all, as we said in the beginning, visualize Paramatma's hand in everything. Thus, seeing Paramatma, make it predominant. Then the question of who is and where is and what is that Paramatma, that jignasa comes healthily. And in trying to prove that jignasa, who is what is Paramatma, we recognize him in our own heart as our own self. There is moksha. This is how these Upanishads way of reminding us of the divine by bringing his intervention in the whole creation such a manner that he alone is creating, he alone is created, he alone is entered the created, he alone is bound, he alone is liberated. ब्यूटीफुल. ये सब आएंगे धीरे धीरे, एक एक श्लोक में ऐसे सेलिएंट विषय आते रहेंगे. We will understand them. So your homework is just to browse through what is seen and try to coordinate it with the earlier topics. इस तरह से थोड़ा होमवर्क कर लो. ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परमर्षिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमो तत्सत्. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु.